Hey there, I'm Sean Collins. I'm the esports reporter covering OpTic Texas of the Call of Duty League, and I'll be traveling to Minneapolis this week to cover Major 2. And I just wanted to put out my power rankings real quick Monday, and yeah, there's actually a decent amount of shifting here. And again, that this is just right for this moment. I'm not really going too much off of overall record. For some teams, I think it's impactful for overall record, but I'm mostly going off of what I saw, the past few weeks in Stage 2. At the top, I still think OpTic Texas is the best team. I know that they played a weekend Atlanta FaZe. FaZe didn't have Simp. He was throwing up all morning, so he didn't play, and Pristini subbed in. I see a lot of people saying that FaZe would have waxed OpTic if they had Simp. I'm not sure that's necessarily true, because FaZe would play different when they have Simp, which is true. It doesn't mean that OpTic wouldn't also play differently. So I don't think that match was ever going to matter too much because there aren't too many advantages to getting the very top seed in these majors, just like a veto. But I still think that both FaZe and OpTic are the only two teams that belong in that S tier for right now. Likewise, I think London is the only team at this moment for me that belongs in the A tier. I think that they were decently better than the Boston Breach at this moment. But going into the B tier, yeah, I do have Boston at the top there. They could sneak up into A tier, I think. But also, I think that the subliners could sneak up into A tier. Obviously, adding Paul X was a big deal. I think Clayster's a really good player. He's an all-time great. But it wasn't working out, and I don't know if the subliners will keep going on this tear. But as of right now, they're looking pretty good. Paul X looks great. Hydra and Neptune look good. Crim 6 is looking better as well. So I'm gonna have NYSL actually top 5 at this moment. The Toronto Ultra, I mean, they're just like, they're good besides Hardpoint. They have very little room for error because they have to win 2 S&Ds and the control in order to win series. And, they're still doing that sometimes. But even if they can just get around to being a 50-50 Hardpoint team, they're going to sneak back into that top 5 and maybe that A tier. I think LAG belongs at the very, very end of B tier. I think that I could see them moving up a little bit, but also I could see them sneaking down into that C tier again. They played without Gunless against OpTic, so it's kind of hard to judge exactly where they're at, but I still think that that's probably a good spot for them. C tier, I think the Rocker is still a good search team, but they really struggle in hardpoint as well, and they're just inconsistent. They put themselves in big holes going down 0-2 early in a lot of these matches, and I think that that's worthy of having them in the C tier. I also think the Seattle Surge belong in the C tier. I could see them being a team that could use a change, maybe not, but that's where they're at. LA Thieves, they've taken the biggest dip out of any team in the league. I think that they're bottom 3 right now. They went 0-5 in Stage 2. Not a good look. I don't know if it's a roster change that they need or just, everybody needs to get on the same page and somebody needs to, probably suck it up and play a style that they don't want to and just buy in to what they're doing. D tier, I think the only teams that really belong there are the Mutineers and the Paris Legion. Mutineers probably need a change. I think that the Legion are still kind of just working out the kinks of how to play with their new roster. They've had lots of changes, and I do think that they're competitive, but they're still the worst team in the league.